Well, New York, shame on you. I live in a state full of arrogant people. Unsurprisingly, New York Democrats choose Hochul for governor, and Republicans pick Lee Zeldin. Both extremely arrogant people. Very arrogant. You saw in the debates how they act. And this guy's a Trumper. He supported an insurrection. He wouldn't support the lawful election of Joe Biden as president. And this woman here is only looking out for a certain demographic. Well, he is too. While letting all the criminals loose and just, you got a witch here, you got a pompous jerk here. I mean, we're screwed. We are screwed. So you can see here, 9 months after she stepped into the job of New York governor as a relative unknown, Democrat Kathy Hochul easily locked up her party's nomination on Tuesday, setting her on an expected glide path to win the office in November. So they're already acting like, well, New York's not going to vote for a Republican already. So I'm disgusted. I'm just disgusted, but not surprised. I am, however, surprised at these margins. So let's go look at some of the results here. We'll start off with the News 12 one because it's easy to see. And obviously, statewide, Hochul has 67% of the vote. Jumaane Williams, 20% of the vote, which is surprising. He had a lot of support from people in the city, I guess. And Tom Suozzi at the bottom with only 12%. Tom Suozzi's an old-fashioned guy, and it's pretty clear old-fashioned guys are not welcome in New York anymore. I like him because I'm old-fashioned. Well, sorry, if you're old-fashioned, you don't belong here anymore. Let's go look at the Republican side of things. Lee Zeldin, it's a little closer here, but still a win. With 77% of the precincts reporting Lee Zeldin, 43%. Giuliani, a strong showing, especially from New York City, 24%. Rob Astorino, he did well in Westchester, but not where else. This was the man I was supporting. Only 19%. Harry Wilson at the bottom, who's Harry Wilson I don't trust, 14%. So really unfortunate to see that we have so you have these arrogant Trumpers, and then you got the limousine liberals, and there's no in between because you don't have any middle class left in New York anymore. This is what this primary has told me. The middle class, most of them packed up and left because they couldn't afford to stay here anymore. They see their quality of life get destroyed, and it's just too expensive to live here. So let's get the latest results from New York from CBS. And again, these are all, we're going to have more information on it. I guess I'm going to have to go over it again tomorrow just to show you here. I like this because it kind of shows you where the size of the lead is in the county by county basis. So if we go and we look at, say, Suffolk County, for instance, you'll see Hochul still a very ridiculous lead, 68.7%. Those are your snobs voting for her right there, all right? And only 9,000. I mean, it was very low turnout as well, which didn't help. I mean, come on. If this election couldn't get people motivated to vote in New York, then I don't know what will. In Nassau County, Hochul still at a lead of 63.4%. Suozzi had a stronger showing at 29.1%, but still couldn't win his own county, which is, again, pretty pathetic. I don't know what's with Democratic voters in the state. Obviously, lots of support for Hochul in the city, but Jumaane Williams was the second. Really, there was a strong showing for him as well. And, of course, Buffalo. They love her in Buffalo, where they're going to get that taxpayer-funded stadium, and also these upstate counties as well. So, yeah, the Democratic side is pretty sad. The Republican side is a little more, it's a little more, notice how it's just one uniform color on the Democratic side. But on the Republican side, you have a little more color here because Republicans tend to be a little more open-minded, I guess, in New York than Democrats. But Lee Zeldin, you can see huge amounts of support for Lee Zeldin in Suffolk County. Nassau, a little tighter, but still a blowout. But however, in New York City, Giuliani won Queens, believe it or not. Giuliani won Queens. And the reason why, again, as I said before, is that Rudy, a lot of the same people who elected Giuliani in this primary are fed up with the crime, and they remember how safe it was when Rudy Giuliani was mayor, all right, when the police were allowed to do their job. And so that's why they voted for Andrew Giuliani. Although he is a Trumper, worked for Trump, his father was a legal aid for Trump. His father kind of lost his marbles as he got older. But when he was mayor of New York City, he did a good job. All right. But Richmond County, 51% Staten Island, in Brooklyn as well. He won Brooklyn as well. And let's see, did he even get Manhattan? No, he did not get Manhattan. Lee Zeldin is slightly there, not surprisingly. And then I think he might have gotten, where's the Bronx here? I can't find the Bronx. There's the Bronx. He did get the Bronx as well. Now, Westchester, Rob Astorino really won his county big, which shows there are a lot of people that like him in Westchester County. And I really would like to see Rob Astorino. Maybe he can come back as county executive or something. He is 68.7% there. That's pretty solid. At least he was able to win his own county, which is what I mean. Republican voters have a little more sense than the Democrats in this state. All right. He also got Putnam as well as Rockland. But the rest was Zeldin country. We have Harry Wilson was popular in some of these other areas upstate. Generally regional speaking. Actually, Fulton County, I guess that's where he's from. But you can see the Republicans have a little more of an open mind, whereas the Democratic sheeple in this state just go behind Hochul. They like the new normal. They like that we still have to wear masks. We're the only state in the country right now that requires masks on public transportation, which is ridiculous. I'm tired of it. I mean, this is like not a way to live anymore. And now moving on to the lieutenant governor, and Delgado, obviously, by a huge margin here. Not surprising. Diana Reyna toward the bottom. She was the one who ran with Suozzi. I am disgusted and disappointed. It sort of really reminds me that I'm going to have to probably go live in New Jersey. I don't see how I can survive here. Because the only decent areas to live the only area where there's decent housing is only for a certain demographic. Just to give you an example of what I deal with in my apartment, these little FedEx door tags you get? Well, they stick them on the outside of my building. You know why? Because we haven't had a working intercom for over a year now. That's right. The landlord had somebody look at it, and I don't know, he said he was going to get a new front panel over a month ago, and nothing. We had intercom broken for over a year. No intercom. So if there's a package and somebody needs to ring the doorbell for somebody in an apartment, sorry, you're not going to hear it. They're going to have to call you to let you know they're outside. How messed up is that? All right, but that's the kind of housing that people with disabilities have to deal with in New York. We don't get the and for those jerks out there, those jerks who say I don't deserve to live in a decent place in a decent neighborhood, F you. F you. I'm not going to say the word, but screw you. You're a bunch of snobs. You really are a bunch of snobs. I know I probably just got 10 dislikes just for saying that. But as well, because I live in a state full of these arrogant Wall Street pricks. Everybody's in love with Wall Street. Everybody wants to be in finance. It's all about these people. Everybody idolizes them. They're in their own preppy little world down there on the South Shore, enjoying the best of everything here in Lynbrook. Meanwhile, I come back to this when I come back to Mineola. Look at this sidewalk, and look at this smashed up. This car shouldn't even be on the road. Its headlight is smashed up. Its bumper is smashed up. But no, that's what we get. This is what we get in Mineola. This is what we get. Probably illegal, driving that, all right? All right, that's what we get. They're moving all the illegals in. I don't want to live in a community with illegals. I dealt with it in Westbury with the gangs and everything. Same damn thing. The overcrowding, the rats, the trash. I got to deal with it all over again, all right? I'm sick of it. I don't want to live in the ghetto if that means living in New York. If ghetto life means life in New York, then I'm out of here. The only chance that we have is for a recession to happen. The stock market did go down today, but of course it probably will go back up tomorrow. Yeah, I want it to crash and burn. I want it to crash and burn so these housing prices can come down so I can live in a better area on Long Island. Because if I can't, then I'm out of here. All right? Because I can't survive. I can't deal with the crime. I can't deal with these cramped surroundings, the substandard housing. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's not like I'm asking to live in a mansion. I'm not asking to live in a mansion. I'm just asking to live in a decent building in a decent neighborhood. All right? And look, I would even live in another part of Mineola already. I would even consider that, like down here, for instance. Right? There's an apartment complex down here, all right? Now, in this area, this looks well kept. I bet you their intercoms work. All right? This looks like a nice part of Mineola living, all right? Nothing fancy. Well, of course, it would be great if I could be on the South Shore, but we all know, well, those people are never going to let me live there. Like around here. Oh, I'd love to live down here. It'd be great to live in one of these buildings, wouldn't it? I mean, but no, that's considered too fancy. Sorry, John, you're not allowed to live there. Well, if I can't live in a place like that on Long Island, then I can't live on Long Island. Because I'm tired of living my life like this. I'm going to be 47 next year. I can't continue this way. All right? I cannot continue this way. Either I improve my living situation or I'm out of here. All right? And right now, with Governor Hochul around, we all know it's going to be the same old, with the crime, the criminals being let loose in our communities, while the whitest communities avoid most of it. They avoid all the problems, but they're only for a certain demographic. You can't live there. Zeldin is a Trumper. I can't vote for either one of them. I might just write in, shut up, and go live in New Jersey in the candidate in the column. That's what I might do. I might say, I got driven to New Jersey. Maybe that's what I'll say. Because that's where it's up. That's obvious where I'm going to wind up. I don't belong here anymore. I don't belong in a state that elects such pompous jerks to represent their state. I don't belong here anymore. It's all about these pompous Wall Street people. Everybody idolizes them. Nobody wants to go against them. Hardly anyone goes against them. I don't belong here. I don't value the same. I grew up with the middle class. There's no middle class left in New York. That's what, if anything, that's what this whole thing has showed me, that there isn't any middle class left in New York anymore. The middle class is gone. I want middle class. I want safe middle class neighborhoods. We don't have those on Long Island anymore. Most of them are gone. All right? Safe middle class areas with a good quality of life. No, that doesn't happen. Only the snobs get good quality of life. They're lily white enclaves. They're preppy own kind that they got. All right? Rest of us, we're told, well, you're going to have to deal with it or shut up and go live in New Jersey. And I'm tired of dealing with it. I know where it's going to wind up, guys. I know it. It's only really a matter of time. It's really only a matter of time. It really is. It really is. Because guess what? You can go live in Tom's River and live in nice apartments like these down here, all right? You can sort of see through the trees. Yeah, you can go live in Tom. They actually have affordable rents there, all right? And they actually rent to programs, all right? Unlike here in Long Island. But I have to see because I'm not a resident of New Jersey. So it's not as simple. They may only take in people who are already living in New Jersey. And then I'm really stuck. But I have to see, and I have to reach out, and I have to start reaching out to see what my options are because it's looking more and more likely that this may be my final full year on Long Island. And by this time next year, I may not be living here anymore. That's it. Thank you for watching.